Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel, and here we are again with the second video. This video is really going to just explain kind of what is going on with how it's coming in March, in May, and how I'm preparing for this tournament that's coming up. So during the month of February, I'm going to be doing intermittent training and having kind of a limited time in the gym, mainly because I'm finally going on my honeymoon with my wife. So it's going to eat up some of the time at the end of the month, and by the time we get back and I'm very relaxed and rested, then we can really begin the grind as we march on towards Saturday, May 13th, down in the Alaska Airlines Center in Anchorage. I'm going to be getting essentially a 9-week fight camp as we get closer and closer, and the first deadline that comes up for the upcoming tournament is on March 24th. That's the early deadline, with a mid-time deadline at April 15th. Now, the reason that these deadlines are important is because of weight classes. This tournament is different than other tournaments where there isn't a age bracket per se. It is strictly based on belt rank and weight. I am currently a 2-stripe white belt, so I'll be competing in the white belt bracket of the tournament, and the current weight that I sit at is 245 pounds. The brackets for the absolute, which I'm going to be entering regardless of what happens with my weight cut and strength build as I try to get towards the tournament in May. But the gi for white belt is between 208 pounds to 222 pounds, and then 222 pounds and over. Now, the March 24th deadline is for early registration. The only real bonus you get is a t-shirt, which, I mean, I'm going to get a t-shirt either way. Whether I have to pay for it or I get one for free, it's still going to happen. So the t-shirt isn't as much of what I'm focused on. So April 15th is truly the deadline of when it gets to the decision times. So as we come on to this 9-week training camp is going to be designed in order to help me cut more excessive body fat, increase my mobility, and increase my strength. Flexibility and strength are two of the things that I have very focused on, as well as my cardio stamina. Early on in this process, I was relatively bad at the stamina, just like everybody else is when they first start. But through a lot of dedicated training and practicing, that has increased already in the past few months, and I only see it getting better. I plan on doing, during this 9-week training camp, going to the Jiu-Jitsu gym at least 4 to 5 days a week. More than likely be a Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings, and Sunday open mats, with a proclivity to try to do more than just a 1 a day. There'll be a couple 2 a days that I do in there for the gym. And that's mainly going to be continuing to absorb as much as I possibly can, and not just focus on the tournament aspect, but actually my whole journey through jiu-jitsu. But as we start getting a little closer towards the camp, it's really to streamline one web of how I can go from position to transition into a sweep or a submission. And that's really as I try to find and develop my game. I also plan, and I'm working with a personal trainer to try to reach the goals that I'm looking for physically. And I plan on working with a coach for, right now I'm doing twice a week. It's going to end up being most to 3 or 4 days a week, which is going to include supplemental just cardio. I finally was able to start running again, and that's going to be big in trying to help me get my weight cut down. And then finally, the most important thing for especially a person my age with as banged up as my body is going to be stretching. There's some yoga instructors that I've followed on YouTube. Here, Yoga with Adrian is a big one. There's a couple other ones, and I'm going to really work on mobility and injury prevention. The biggest thing that I need to make sure as I get closer that I don't overtrain to the point that I injure myself and I won't be able to sit in the tournament. That's a big deal. So that's going to be something that we really focus on and hone in during the time for this entire this entire training camp. So I think 222 pounds is doable. It's just going to take a lot of focus and a lot of determination. I don't know how much different or how hard other people are going to be training, getting ready for this tournament. But it's one of those things. I was having a discussion with a friend, and he asked why I'm so focused on making this journey and doing this channel and documenting all of this stuff. And it's mainly because I don't want to do this, half-assed. Like, it's right now it's kind of one of those all or nothing things. And if you don't take risk, you don't take chance, you don't know exactly what's going to happen or how you're going to end up. So may as well, like most of the other things that I do, go full bore into it and let the chips fall where they may lie. And it depends on how I do. And I'm going to be proud of the work I put in. And that's going to be the most important thing, is the journey. And my goal, besides trying to decide as I get closer to March 24th, as I get closer to that date and decide whether I'm going to make that weight cut to get in the regulations I need, or if it's going to have to be a little beyond. My big thing is going to be not getting injured and staying consistent. So yeah, that's essentially what the game plan is. I hope to have some footage from this week to post on the channel of me rolling. I have a couple classes that I'm going to be able to do this week coming up, and possibly a couple more in the middle. And then hopefully there'll be a special treat during the end of the month where there's a Bay Area gym by the resort me and my wife are going to. So I'm hoping to have some footage of me training with a black belt down there, and just so I'll do a couple little cutaways of what it actually was like being in Puerto Vallarta, New Mexico, and that whole experience, which is going to be fantastic, especially since it's, people who are watching this from Fairbanks know it's -20 right now, and Puerto Vallarta is about 95 degrees, so it's going to be a great change for us. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You're going to be noticing more difficult or more transitions that I make. I'm not yet willing to try to cut down some of the raw video of these vlogs, because I just feel they're more off the cuff and more honest. I'll start cutting them down and getting some of my pauses and ums and uhs out of the way as we go further on. But for now, I'm just trying to make it so it doesn't look so amateur. The audio quality is going to be sounding better. As you can see, I got a brand new microphone to kind of go with this setup. So I noticed that I talk kind of low, so I want to make sure everybody can hear me. If you have any suggestions or comments or anything that you think that I should be able to do on here, or anything, just let me know down in the comment section below. Like this video if you like it. Share it. If you got anybody who feels like they're not healthy enough to perform a difficult task at an 8, and show them that, hey, this broke down guy from Fairbanks is willing to put in the work and go through whatever injuries he has to keep pushing. Anybody else can do it, and we'll go from there. Also, I did give a shout out to the people at Fiverr, and I work with a great graphic designer to create the logo that you see on my channel now. And I did, shameless plug, put a little merch store up there, mainly so I can get my own logo on my own hoodie. But if you guys want to buy a hoodie or anything, or a t-shirt or something, it's totally up to y'all. I'm not really doing this for the money. I just thought it was cool to have my own stuff for once. So you're going to see some of that get put on and some of the branding going on. But what's more important is how this whole journey is going to go. And it's going to be a rough 9 weeks starting on March 7th. The next few weeks I'm not taking off. I'm not resting, just because it's not, before the March begins in my training camp. I'm kind of doing pre-training camp to get to the training camp. So it's going to be wild, and I hope to have as much footage as I can to show, share with everybody. And any tips that y'all can give me, or some information or anything, I'm going to be answering whatever comments that I hear. And thanks so much for watching. Y'all have a good day.